Yes, the crowds have come back to Central Florida, both at Universal Studios and Disney World for fall break. But folks, the piggy bank is about to break for Disney for Mickey Mouse. As it turns out, they're going deep into discounts for this holiday season. This holiday season, going beyond anything we've ever seen. So what's the reason? Why are Georgia residents perhaps getting more than half off of hotels on Thanksgiving, Christmas, and Christmas Eve? Folks, we've got answers. So don't leave. Hello and welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls. Yes, we use that kind of gendered language around here. Folks, we've got some info, and it's going to be very dear to some of you who reside in places like Atlanta or Macon or Valdosta. So let's get on it. And for the rest of you across the country, well, you're going to understand why Disney's doing what they're doing. And it's not in line with what the Disney shills, the cupcakers, the pixie dusters are spewing all over the web. As we dive in, click the like button, and we'll tell you why Bob Iger just might dread the Christmas season. All right, folks, it is slammed at Walt Disney World right now for fall break crowds. But what's really going on? Now, we've talked in the past that Universal Studios actually is having better days, but everybody's having good days in October. Let's talk about it. Cynical Disney says, I have never seen Magic Kingdom so crowded before. These are crowds I'd expect at Christmas, not some random Wednesday in October. And my response to that is fall break on a non-Mickey's Not So Scary Halloween day. It's crazy. And then it will be sparse at best on the Mickey's Not So Scary Halloween return. Of course, that's the after hours VIP party. Things will go back to uncrowded November 1st. So mark that down, folks, and see if we've got that right. Let me go to touring plans. I'm going to prove this actually to you. Touring Plans blog, we love them, we like them. Becky Gendillian is the author here. Becky, sorry for messing up your last name, we'll get it right. Disney Data Dump, October 15, 2025. It says, well, that escalated quickly. After weeks of slow climbs and small spikes, this weekend's crowds at Walt Disney World came in like a pumpkin spice wrecking ball. The combination of a long weekend, perfect fall weather, and plenty of non-party time at Magic Kingdom turned the parks into a sea of orange decorations and long lines. We saw the highest wait time since spring break this season. In fact, wait times this weekend were 74% higher than what we saw over the July 4th holiday. 'Tis the season for Disney vacations. Let's see what the data tells us about them. And you can see these, you see the bump here. And as we've been reporting, they've gotten up to 7 on the crowd levels. Now, folks, it is not slammed. In comparison to what it has been, it feels that way. But a 7 out of 10 is crowded, but it's not shoulder to shoulder. It's not capacity. And in decades past, we've talked about, during the holidays, Disney being at capacity, can you still get in, all that kind of stuff? That's not happening, but it does feel more crowded than usual. What's really going on, though? Let's talk about it. If you take a look at this chart, it's got the theme parks broken down by colors. Green for Animal Kingdom, blue for Epcot, purple for Hollywood Studios, and gold for Magic Kingdom. Now, you're going to notice that there are wild swings in the attendance for Magic Kingdom and gold. Why is that? Well, folks, if you go on a day when they're going to do Mickey's Not So Scary Halloween at 6 p.m., thus the park ends earlier than usual and no fireworks and all that, it's a ghost town. There's nobody there. So on the 7th, nobody was at Magic Kingdom. It's a crowd level of 2. On the 9th, same thing. On the 10th, it's a 3. Unless you think, oh, well, it's changed now. It's more crowded. Nope. On the 13th, when they didn't have the after hour party, a 3. And the other parks are doing what they're doing pretty consistently. But Magic Kingdom is this very bizarre situation. Very bizarre. Now, how crowded is it? I'm going to refresh this at the time of recording, of course. We're at 2:20 p.m. If we go here and we look at how crowded it is right now, it's a 3. No, we will not be disabling the ads. A 3 out of 10 today. So it's going back to more normal. And why is that? Because the later we get in October and then definitely in November, the fall break season, where entire states take fall breaks, is going to go away, and we're going to see this come back down to normal. But that said, yes, it is more crowded this month. You can see it's 30% more crowded in terms of wait times at Magic Kingdom, 22% longer waits at Epcot, 34% in Hollywood Studios, and 22% at Animal Kingdom. I do want to show you something, though, because people are losing their minds. They're talking about, oh my gosh, it's so crowded. You can't believe how crowded it is. Let's break it down by the weeks first, ladies and gentlemen. If you take a look at this, you can see that we've been on a steady decline. What we believe is attendance correlating to wait times here on Thrill Data at Walt Disney World. And right now, the wait time was 36 minutes for the week before, 35 minutes for this week. How does that compare? Well, folks, if you look, just go back to March of 2024, and what do you find? 44 minutes. Go back to February of 2024, 46 minutes, 43 minutes. In other words, and I don't believe anybody's saying, oh man, February of 2024, do you remember those days? You couldn't get into the parks. No. Is it crowded? Yes. Is it tremendously crowded, historically speaking? No. And in fact, you can see this. If we look at the current October ratings, the average wait time at all of Disney has been 32 minutes. And if you go back to 2024, 2023, and 2022, any average month in those years was more crowded, we believe, than in 2025, October. Now, the one last thing I'll tell you is that part of what is driving this crowd gauge up even more is that Animal Kingdom only has 5 rides open. That's getting counted as 1/4 of the calculation because it's one of 4 parks. Animal Kingdom only has 5 rides. They gauge the crowded levels based on wait times when you only have 5 rides. Well, those wait times can get pretty crazy. But folks, I want to give you a run through that. Yes, the fall break crowds have arrived, but it's not insane. Vash, I start with you on this one. What are you hearing? What are you thinking about the crowd levels? Universal is actually breaking records for themselves. But Disney's not terrible. We want people to understand that. And we really, Vash, want people to know, don't dash over to the Magic Kingdom when it's a non-Mickey's Not So Scary Halloween party, because look out. Magic Kingdom, when it's open the full day without Mickey's Not So Scary, it's a scary time there. That is crowded, but that's Disney's own kind of manufactured crowd level.
Artificial scarcity is what I like to call it. It's just, of course, the numbers are going to go up, as school lets out and as there are major holidays or major events, that people actually go to Walt Disney World for. My thinking, though, is that, look, you're still looking at a crowd calendar that is kind of lower historically than it has been. And that's really profound because, when you were bringing up those charts, when you're talking about February 2024 and so forth, the issue, though, is that Walt Disney World's never had this many attractions down amongst all their parks, like Disney Studios, certainly Animal Kingdom, and certainly Magic Kingdom. So you would expect those numbers to be higher. Unfortunately, that's not what we see. Now, look, if you're going to Mickey's Not So Scary and so forth, and you're taking advantage of some of those opportunities, fantastic, great, that is awesome. I think from Disney's perspective, I'm a little bit concerned, though, that you're looking at Universal Studios, like you said, bro. It is way high. I mean, packed out like crazy. And they seem to be getting some of that business, but certainly not as much as I think they would like to see. This is why I think they went in so heavy with the price increases right before this time, right? Because they understood they were going to have less people. So it's like, okay, we're going to go ahead and increase prices across the board same day. That's parking, that's tickets, that's annual passes, that's food, that's merch, all of those things in order to kind of blitz this out in this way to take advantage of those lower crowds that I think that they had seen in years past. So I'm very concerned about those per caps. Maybe we'll have a little bit more to offer there when those earnings reports actually come out. But for Universal, they're sitting pretty. I mean, they have a brand new park, and all of their parks are actually full. And I think that Moffat-Nathanson guidance that suggests that they will see a huge, multi-million people increase in attendance with the addition of Epic Universe playing out.
Yeah, and culture, all those are great. I mean, fantastic, capture of that, Vash. Culture, what if I told you that we've captured the receipts and we really know that Disney is terrified? What if I told you that? Culture, would you like to see that?
I would love to see that. I wouldn't be surprised, though.
Well, get ready, because we've got them. Folks, you know where to go to get the exclusive. Here you go. Take a look at this. Out of that Park Place. Buy yours truly this time. It's me. Disney World discounts, hotels on Thanksgiving, Christmas Eve, and Christmas. Not for Floridians, ladies and gentlemen, but for all Georgia residents.
Interesting.
It is very rare, Culture, that we see Georgia get discounts. In fact, the Mississippians out there might want to say, hey, what's up with that? Alabama might want to say, we touch your panhandle. Don't do that, folks. That'll get you in trouble at work. But Culture, don't go there. Take a look at this, ladies and gentlemen. If we scroll down, I want you to see just how bad this is getting. You ready for this? Disney World is rolling out a rare holiday perk just for Georgia residents in 2025, offering deeply discounted rooms because Floridians can't cut it anymore. They don't have enough Floridians down there. Offering deeply discounted rooms at select resorts during the festive season. Under this offer, are you ready for this, culture? Eligible Georgia residents can book, again, on Thanksgiving, on Christmas Eve, in Hanukkah, Christmas Day, $129 per night for Disney's All-Star Sports Resort. Now, culture, for a pre-pandemic, if you wanted to stay at Disney's All-Star Sports Resort on Christmas Eve, easily $300.
Yeah.
Now $129. Let's go to this is the biggest one though, culture.
Okay.
Animal Kingdom Lodge, the Savannah View Room, easily pre-pandemic, Christmas Eve, Thanksgiving, Christmas. I mean, you're talking about the busiest days of the year. Easily, this is $1,000 room. I mean, this is an experience on Thanksgiving Day to watch giraffes walk by your balcony. This is the premiere of premieres. Now it's $429 for anybody who lives in Georgia, all the way from Valdosta to LJ. You, Georgians, you can go and enjoy hotel rooms. I think this is, culture, I think this is like a 60% discount for an entire state, not Florida. Your thoughts?
They're in trouble. They're in massive trouble. The only thing that would indicate even more trouble would be if they added the free dining package to this particular thing. This is in the highest, most elevated period of time, and how I know this is because I went and looked at the rack room rates for this year's holiday stays at a lot of the DVCs, what they charge for these rooms. And the New Year's Eve, New Year's Day numbers for staying in a grand villa at the Floridian was $6,000 a night. So the fact that they are discounting an entire state and giving them a premium room, because I'm gonna say this because I've been in them, the Savannah views are amazing, no matter what size it is, studio, 1 bedroom, 2 bedroom, 3 bedroom, whatever it is.
Culture. If you can get a family suite at the Animation Resort, a family suite for $300. That's less than many. Listen, there are hotel rooms off property that cost more than a family suite on Christmas Day at Disney World.
Yeah, I wonder what the Bonnet Creek hotels are going for right now.
I don't know. But the fact that they're bringing this out in October. This is what people need to know, because we think deeply about this, right? So we don't just, stuff happens and we don't go, oh, well, look at that, and then move on. We actually think about why they would do this. We're in October. They just said, hey, everybody in the state of Georgia, get down here. Wow. Get down here. We're going to cut it like 60%. Please get down here for Thanksgiving. That tells me they're missing the bookings badly.
Right. That's exactly what it tells me. I mean, I think what Hugh Johnston said, hey, the next couple of quarters going to look a little bit lighter on the ledger than we've had previously. They are forecasting out, and they're very good at this. They're very good at forecasting out just how many people they expect to show up. Them doing a very targeted sale like this definitely suggests that they're either testing something or they understand that they're going to be hurt pretty badly. And I wonder if they're going to ramp that up if they don't see the results from Georgia that they want to see.
Vash, they're in big trouble. This is kind of unheard of, and I would say that their net bookings are down, so their future net bookings are down so badly that they are going to be testing this out. They are looking at one state specifically because they need to know how deep they need to go into discounts to bring that state and many other states in the similar financial position to come back to the parks. I think they're going to find out that their strategy of raising prices anytime they bump up against a diminished interest is not a good plan. I mean, that would seem obvious, right?
Well, and you have to understand too is that they're not just looking at lighter bookings. They're not just looking at lower per caps, probably. They're also looking at huge capital expenditures that they're actually putting out money for. So the net on this is going to be tremendous. And we're seeing some really interesting things at Disneyland as well, Pro. I am in contact with somebody who actually tracks the reservations. He actually has managed a website that actually tracks it for you, the reservation bookings for Disneyland Resort. And what was weird was we found that like both parks would book out simultaneously on certain days, and it's like, okay, that's weird. And that's the kind of the levers I think that are being pulled at this point in order to artificially increase demand. It's just very, very strange things that we're seeing happening, I guess, on both coasts to try to get people to come. And I thought Disneyland was very insulated from this. Apparently not.
And folks, this is all to say, we're here to cover you. And Cynical Disney, we love you. Hope you're watching the videos. Hope you're keeping track of what we have to say on That Park Place and YouTube. But, and on X too.
Yeah.
But we told you, October is going to get a little busy for about 3 weeks because entire states take their fall break all at the same time. Indiana, for example, is one of those. They send everybody they got on down to vacation lands, whether it's Dollywood or Universal or, wherever they might go, Disney World too. And so what we're watching is we know that come the 1st of November, things look dire. And how do we know that? Because Disney's acting like they're going to look dire. And we're not going to come off of our reporting about Disney World having some issues because of 3 weeks of fall break crowds that we predicted all along. Now, where does this go? Well, folks, if Disney doesn't pick up the slack in January and February, if they don't show some growth there, they're in deep trouble. And you might say, well, nobody goes. Nobody goes in January and February. Well, we've had a very weird thing going on lately where if you go back in time and you look, let's go back to January of 2023, wasn't far off from the December before. January 2024 wasn't far off from December somehow. It's very strange what's going on. And then February was strong. If we see the more traditional collapse in the winter months,
oh boy,
look out, Disney. And for those of you who want a fun time, if that happens, well, you can go down there and be the only person in line. You can put up lawn chairs in the queues for many of your favorite attractions and just have a barbecue, baby. Don't do it in Space Mountain's queue. It's not well ventilated. Don't do that. But in many of the places, you'll just be able to set up shop and say, yeah, this is my little area. This is my little land. Thank you, Disney. Thank you. Culture, final thoughts on this one.
Look, we've been talking about this for a while, and Disney's going to have its peaks and valleys, and that's always been the case. But this is more extreme than I've seen it. And I do believe I'm going to be right at the end of the year that Epic Universe stole over 20, if not 30% of Disney's share in Florida.
The cannibalization's got to be massive. It has to be very, very large because people are still going to theme parks. They're just not going to Disney.
That's right. All right, folks.
One last thing, I'm sorry. I would just suggest that you, at the beginning of the year, call your travel agent, see what the cruises are being listed for, because I have a feeling it's going to be even lighter cruise season starting January than we've ever seen out of Disney.
Record-breaking crowds at Universal this fall season. Disney not doing so bad, but their actions tell us they've got a sad outlook on the future. It is such fun getting to spend time together, folks, but we have come to the end of yet another video, well, that makes the mainstream scratch their heads, pull their hair out, and wonder, how is it we continue to do what we do? But you know what we do this for? It's for you. To keep bringing all the knowledge of entertainment, explaining what's going on in Hollyweird each and every day. And you can help us continue on that way by clicking the like button, share, subscribe, click it, stick it to those algorithms. It's the notification bell. Share this out on your favorite social media platforms, and we would love to have you drop a comment right on down below. Share your thoughts because, well, your thoughts truly do matter, and we mean it. As we get ready to say goodbye, we end with the common refrain. Folks, wherever you are and whatever you're doing, keep learning, keep growing, and keep having fun. Jump into the water!
Why listen to music made by people and companies who really don't like you? Check out Vacation Radio today and prepare for all new content made by the people behind the WDW Pro channel. It's the place you need for all the music. That should be fun.
So I give them
Hundreds of songs, every genre you can imagine. Listen live on YouTube and enjoy a set list that's always sunny. It's Vacation Radio. What are you waiting for? Every WDW Pro video has a link to Vacation Radio in the video description. Try it out and subscribe today.